And we're back once again, only on his last call. Last call to the alcohol, only on the lastcallpodcast.com. And joining me here on location, this man here, well, he'll be fighting once again, this time only on April 4th against Endry Saavedra for WBO Interim World Middleweight Championship. Well, he has put the pressure on boxing to do the right thing, and well, hopefully they do. As he's going to be fighting for the hopefully interim world middleweight championship and coming home with some gold. I give you once again all the way from the UK, from Wadsworth, London, United Kingdom. I give you it is Too Sharp himself. I give you it's Denzel Bentley. So Denzel, let's start off
Yes.
here with it's April 4th. You get a crack once again. How
Yeah.
much have you been looking forward to this fight where it's like, okay, finally, no more delays, no more, waiting, no more just is it going to be for interim or not? Like, how happy are you it's finally just like arriving to fight?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been out 16 months now at the ring. No fault of my own. So I'm just itching to get back out in general. But, for this to be an eliminator and for the interim title, it's even a bigger blessing. So yeah, I can't wait and I'm ready to go.
So take us to your opponent, Endry Saavedra. Like, what does he bring to the table? What do you see out of him? Like when you have, done your, your homework, like what kind of fight are you expecting in this fight?
Yeah, I'm expecting an aggressive puncher in NG himself. I know he comes forward. He likes to, bang the body. He throws a lot of punches. And he's got that typical South American style. So yeah, I think it should be an exciting night for the fans and a good fight for us both.
Do you feel this is your kind of fight? Like you, a guy who, as you said, comes forward, brings the pressure. Is that the kind of fighter that you want to face usually?
Yeah, yeah, I'd like that. Someone's going to come forward. We'll be there. We're going to be in a good little scrap. I'll have to try and find my way around to be successful in the fight. I think that's the type of fight I like to be in. It's exciting. It's there's threats there, so it wakes me up mentally.
How big is that for you mentally? Just, where you're always on edge, you're always on toes, rather than more defensive, and you get too over aggressive and worry about okay, you push too much or you get over aggressive.
I think sometimes when you do that, you can box out of your rhythm a little bit because you think, you try to be over aggressive and you try to do a bit too much. Where my style, I think I'm quite a good counter puncher. So if it gives me something, I got something to work off. When I'm trying to be over aggressive, I think it kind of you don't get the best out of me. So I think someone that's going to come to me and be aggressive towards me, I just got to be focused for 12 rounds or however long it lasts and just be on point throughout the whole fight.
So this is for the interim WBO title, and as we talked off there,
Yeah,
the current champion is suspended, but he's not stripped.
yeah,
And
it's
I know
crazy.
for you that has been one of those things that has really gotten your goat. Have they said why? Because I'm guessing you're like, well, why don't you just strip him of a title? He can't fight for it within a year. Why don't you strip him?
Yeah, I know as I'm saying. I mean, no one can become world champion for a whole year, and it's no fault for anyone else in the division. So, it's quite interesting. I don't know how that works, but apparently it's something to do with he's a first-time offender. So they're giving him the chance to just be suspended for a year, and yeah, he gets to retain his title. I mean, it's not up to me. I don't know how it works, but I've got my opportunity in front of me, so I've got to focus on that. But yeah, it does baffle me.
We'll go to the fight in a bit. We'll go back to the fight in a bit, but this is a guy that you would face before. So
Yeah.
again, I know while you're focusing on the fight and you're doing all this, at what point were you have you thought like was he pissing hot? When we were fighting, because in the back, I know in the back of your mind you're thinking like, well, wait a minute, he got caught cheating now. How do we know he wasn't cheating when I fought him all the way back in Vegas?
No, it's true. I mean, it's very rare the first time you cheat, you get caught. You know what I mean? For that fight when we boxed in Vegas, there was no testing until fight night, so we didn't get tested throughout our camp. So we would never know. We would never know.
How much has all this sort of opened your eyes to going forward? Where I'm guessing you and Frank Warren, your promoter, have sat down and went, okay, look, going forward, we want more stringent testing. We want, test like 30 days out, 15 days out. We don't want just, well, testing the fight, night of a fight. Like, how much are you been pushing for, like, okay, we need to start doing more advanced testing so I don't get screwed again, or if a sport doesn't get screwed again?
Yeah, no, I think all promoters should, every time there's fights in place, they should get testing in place from the contract they sign. So when you're in camp, because that's when people are gonna be using the PEDs when they're in camp. I mean, you're rarely gonna find someone on the night of the fight trying to use PEDs. I mean, we need to get testing, random testing throughout camp. Keep everyone that's competing honest. But yeah, that doesn't seem to be the case, and I feel like you know get through this fight and get the chance to fight Yannick again. I will be pushing hard for testing from the fighters announced. So yeah, hopefully, we can have a clean fight next time round.
So it's been a minute since we had you on the show. You've been in 2024, you were busy as can be. You fought three times, took on Brad
Yeah.
Pauls, Derek Osei, Danny Dingham. How frustrating was last year where after the Pauls fight, you're like, okay, get ready, you want to fight again. You wait for eliminator, and then this happens, that happens. There's the delay. Somebody gets injured. Gets pushed back. Like, how tough was last year for you where it's almost like, God damn it, I'm wasting a year of my career.
Yeah, no, it was tough, man. I mean, the whole year to go without a fight was crazy. There's nothing I've ever been through before in my career. I've always, been as active as possible, and that was hard because I was in the gym all year training, hardly had any time off, barely had any family time, just training for potential dates, and nothing was given. So it was tough, man. It was tough. I had to stay focused, keep my head down, keep grinding, keep training, keep learning, keep soaking up the game, and finally we're at the end of the tunnel.
Mentally, how did you handle it? Like how did you not just lose your mind when, after I'm guessing, okay, January, February, March, you're getting a little, you're hopeful. April, May, you get kind of annoyed. June, July, you're getting, really ticked off by like August. How are you not just, going out of your mind? Like, what did you do not to just lose your, as a cool kid say, lose your shit?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just had to stay in the gym. I mean, my coach would always advise me, right? I mean, he was always, with me in my corner every time I go to the gym, trying to rant. He's just calling me down and telling me, look, we know where we are. We're not in a bad position. We know what we're meant to have. It just hasn't happened yet. So just stay focused. I talk to my parents, people around me, my partner. They just tell me, yeah, you know what? Look, just keep staying focused. Everyone, I had everyone's support around me, and every time I'm complaining about things, they'd understand me, and then it's like they try and put a positive spin in it. Like, look, listen, man, this is God's plan. This is what it is. Pray on it. Wherever I need to do, speak to whoever. My coach would tell me, look, just stay in the gym. Something's gonna come. And I guess like when everyone else is being positive around you, it's kind of hard to stay negative. Now I'm just really being spoiled in it. So I just thought, all right, cool, let me just stop complaining and get on with it. So yeah, I credit that to having good people around me.
Was there ever a moment where you're like, screw this, I'll go up a weight class. I'll fight for a different title. I don't care. Like, because if you're not fighting, you're not making money. If you're not making money,
100%.
all of a sudden, like, bills start piling up. Like,
Yeah.
everybody says, yeah, I want a title, but this is prize fighting. You fight, for money. So, was there ever a point where you're like, screw this, I need to get paid. I need to fight. I am a paid prize fighter, not this isn't the amateurs.
Yeah. No, definitely. There was a lot of times where we got offered a few things and I was just going to jump at it because I needed to get paid, but they were worthless fights. They were fights for nothing. They were just keep busy fights that would have done nothing for me. But I just needed to get paid, and I'd speak to my dad, and he'd be like, "Look, don't jump at things because you feel like you need to. Just wait for the opportunity." And it's like, all right, cool. I'm not getting the blessing of my family to just start doing random stuff. So I was like, all right, we step back, don't do this. speak to my coach. He would ask me, does this make sense? Whatever, whatever. And if the opportunity came to move up to fight for another title in a good fight, I would have moved up hand in hand. But yeah, just nothing was just clicking. It was just like maybe I wasn't meant to fight last year. I don't know, but like I said, we're here now, and I'm excited for it. I feel like the whole now that this is here, I feel like the whole of last year didn't go in vain because I've improved on my skills. I was able to just graft throughout the year, and without a fight coming up, and just still learn as I'm training. So yeah, I'm trying to see the positive side of it now.
How tough is that year, vote? Because as you said, you're working on stuff, you're training, but this is still like it's still boxing. You can still get injured during camp. So,
100%.
so how tough was that? As you're trying to keep in shape, you're trying to do all this, and at the back of your mind, you're like, God damn, the way this is going, I don't want to all of a sudden like get injured, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, fight's gonna be pushed back another 6 months or another 7 months. Like, how tough was it mentally
Yeah.
focusing on just the positives and not just get worried about what could happen, what might happen, what bad things could happen because this whole year has been sort of chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, look, thankfully, I never got injured during that time that I had. Well, not really off that during that time that I had, but like it was very frustrating, man. It was very frustrating, man. There was times I'd be positive about it, and then every now and then I'd just flip, and I'm like, nah, I can't do this. I got to figure something out. I need to move on with my life and things like that. So it was very frustrating, but like I said, like having good people around me helped. It helped me keep my cool and stay focused on the mission.
If you're just tuning in, once again, we got Denzel Bentley on the show. We're talking all things, of course, his fight April 4th. We're talking the layoff. We're talking family here. I'm glad now that a while back, I know your son Cairo, he was born early, and you talked about how in 2023, like everything changed, the health scare. But all of a sudden, all of a sudden you realize, holy crap, I'm a father. Holy crap, this is my kid's fighting for his life here. How is Cairo doing? And how much has that sort of strengthened you as not just a fighter, but as a person having to see all this go forward and you have to keep your calm while you're worrying about somebody that means the world to you?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, he's doing great. He wouldn't even you wouldn't even think he was premature or anything. He's doing amazing. He's got a bunch of energy. He barely gives me time to sit down and relax. So no, it's good, having him in the house and stuff. But like you said, I mean, going through that, yeah, knowing that like, I got a family now, I got a son, I got to provide and do all these things, and I can't really do it because of my situation. It's very frustrating, man. It humbles you. Do you know what I mean? So I look at him and he motivates me as well. It's like I got to make sure I do everything I can to make sure he doesn't have the same upbringing that I did, and he has a better future, for when he grows up. Because as a parent, I feel like I brought him into this world, so I need to make sure, he has everything he needs to be able to, flourish in this world.
Yes, you're hearing from Cairo Bentley also giving his 2 cents to us. Hey, it's never dull but on the show here. He's very outspoken. So let me ask you this: how much does that, with everything as a father, how much does that change how you behave now? Where before this, you were a different person, I'm guessing, more cocky, more
Yeah.
arrogant. You could talk trash. Now that you have a kid, and as you said, kids see, kids do. Does that change how you now, interact with people either on social media, in person? Like, do you become now more conscious of, oh, I can't say this. I don't want my kids to repeat this, or I don't want to, have my kid look, at me and go, "Ooh, daddy did something kind of bad."
Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, if I'm trying to raise him to be a certain way, I've got to kind of be that way too. So, I don't really want to set bad examples or, make do things that make him think is acceptable. So, I go watch my language at times, watch how I behave at times because when he looks at me, sometimes he copies things I do, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's catching on really quick. So I've got to kind of change my persona a little bit so he doesn't, start acting unacceptably.
go back to your fight here. As you said, it's April 4th, big fight coming up for you. On the horizon, we're seeing TKO Boxing. They're throwing a lot of money around. They are trying to sign a lot of guys, and they've already signed Connor Ben. They are making inroads into the UK. You know, but all of a sudden, like, oh, new player, new money here. Does this give you more hope for you? Because again, it's anytime there's a new player with new money, that means hey, possible opportunity. So for you, like, how excited are you that there's one more big promoter with big money, even though they don't seem to play well with others right now, but it's a chance for maybe down the line, like you go, who maybe I can get more money for fighting.
Yeah, as a fighter, of course. I think every fighter in that's in every fight deserves every penny they're getting paid. You know what I'm saying? I don't think no fighter is overpaid. So if they're coming in to try and shake up the market, then everyone else is gonna, you know, pick up, pick up their act and start doing more to compete and stuff. So I guess it's a good thing because there's more competition, and more competition means more opportunities for other fighters to be seen and get on shows and be seen live on telly and get paid well. But obviously, it's one step at a time. As long as I keep winning, I think these opportunities will present itself to me. But I've just got to focus on my job, and then everyone else around me. If they do their job, then I think I should have a decent career.
It all comes back down, as you mentioned before. It's April 4th, WBO interim title fight, and again, if you win, Too Sharp Bentley is the interim WBO middleweight champion. Maybe a rematch. Hopefully, you and Frank Warren get Alamundi to come to the UK rather than
That'd
Vegas.
be good. That'd be amazing.
How big is it, though? As you said, just focus in the first round, focus in the first minute, focus in the first 30 seconds. Because we've seen before where fighters from, all the way back from 1900s to 2026, they look past their opponent. Next thing you know, that's when disaster. So for you, how big is it for, just focusing on, all right, first minute, first 30 seconds, first round, and not what could, might, should, hopefully happens?
I think it's very important, and I think the whole fight depends on that because when you're almost there, it's easy to overlook everything and just imagine what is next as if you're already there. And I'm not there yet. I'm almost there. I've got something in front of me that's trying to stop me from getting there. So I've got to focus on that, and that's the first task. Like, so this is my world title fight before the world title fight. That makes sense because if I don't get through this, there is no world title fight. So this is just as important as whatever's next. So I just got to focus on this and be 100% locked into this opportunity I have now. It's a big opportunity. It's on a great card, great opportunity to be seen and move forward in my career. So, like you said, I just go in there first minute, first round. That's what I've got to be focused on, and then we move on from there.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we always love having on the show. I give you once again all the way from the London, UK, fighting April 4th, only on his own pay-per-view. I give you it's Too Sharp himself. I give you Denzel Bentley. So, Denzel, before we let you go, where can fans check you out at? Where is the Twitter, the Instagram? Who are the sponsors going to be for this fight coming up once again on April 4th, only on his own pay-per-view?
Yeah, no, Twitter and Instagram, at two sharp, the number two sharp underscore D on both Twitter and Instagram. Sponsors so far, we're still working on them, but we got ringside as always and advanced facilities. Those two have always been supporting me throughout my career, but I'm still working on a few more for this fight.
Denzel Bentley, ladies and gentlemen, once again, always honor, pleasure to have you on the show. We come back. We got a lot more going on here. Only on it's Last Call. Last Call to the alcohol. Only on the Last Call Podcast.com.